Right. So we should be
What up?
live. I do not have like a loading screen for this, so we just have to kind of jump right into it. Hey y'all, as you guys know, y'all already know Watts TV. He's been a homie of the channel for a very long time. And we are going to be talking about red flags. Now, not just your average obvious red flags like, oh, a cheater, don't date a cheater, oh, don't date someone who lies. Like, no, we're gonna be talking about some real red flags, like things you wouldn't even think of but you should think of. So just in case there will be some new people, go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit and plug your channel. I do have it linked in the description.
Appreciate you, Sandra. As usual, what's good, everybody? My name is Watts TV. Basically, what I do here on YouTube is a lot of commentary, reactions, et cetera, et cetera. I like to partake in conversations like this, have a little fun, live stream as well. So make sure that you guys do me a favor and subscribe to Watts TV. I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me on, Sandra.
Absolutely. I love doing streams with you. You're so funny. When I first started,
Cheers.
just to kind of give us a little background while people come in, when I first
Mhm.
started doing like live streams and really getting into YouTube, like you were one of the first, I think you were the first collab that I did.
I
I want
think
to say
so.
you were. And it was
Yeah.
just so cool. Like you had commented on one of my videos and then I ended up looking into your channel. I reached out and we were just like, hey, let's do a live stream. Let's do something. And well, actually, I don't think we did a live stream. We filmed and then
We
uploaded
did.
or something like
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
we go way back.
Yeah, and you know what was crazy about that? Because that was at a time where I was still like very like young with my YouTube career and shit. I always wanted to collab with other creators, and it's just became recently that I started to do that again. Like collabing with other people is one of the hardest things for me, just because like you got to figure out if, your content makes sense and if their content makes sense, like you just don't want to force something. So yeah, it has been a struggle. So I am glad to found people like you, Random University, Logics, etc. But it collabing is most definitely hard.
It's hard because it's just like there's so much to consider. Like even just making sure your schedules align. Like we grown, we got stuff to do. Like you got full-time job, I got two kids. Like life is lifing. So I love when we're able to get together and do these different streams and have a lot of fun and get into these topics like today's topic,
Sure.
red flags. Okay, this is gonna be fun because we're not, like I said, we're not talking about your average run of the mill, oh, don't date a cheater, don't date someone who lies. Like, no, we're gonna get into the nitty gritty. And just to kind of give us some shout outs to the chat. Hey chat, what's up, Blunt Girly? Blunt Girly's another YouTuber. She's absolutely awesome. Love her content. FH, what's up, sis? Leo Carnage, what's up? The
What's up,
OCPD
Leo?
coach, what's up? What's up? So I'm going to let you kick this off. What's up, David? I'm gonna let you kick this
Okay.
off since you are the guest. So what is your
Okay.
first red flag?
Got you. So the first one, this one may be obvious to some, but not for everybody. But my first one would probably be if the person that you are dealing with is constantly talking negatively about their ex or exes.
Yep.
Now, now this can range, right? Because I understand, like, if the conversation calls for it, then fine. Oh, how was your relationship with your ex? Then you could be like, man, she was crazy. She did X, Y, and Z. But if you are just constantly bringing that ex partner up and constantly talking about them, that is a huge red flag. Because for me personally, that tells me, hey, this person may still be hung up on their ex. Like I don't, yeah, and I don't want to be a part of anything toxic. So yeah, that would probably have to be my first one. Have you ran into anybody that was constantly talking about their exes while you were dating them, Sandra?
Yes, yes. I had an ex that would show me her picture like all the time. I'm just like, why are you showing me this broad's picture? I don't care. It was so weird. Like he would show me old pictures of her. And I was young at the time. I
Hmm.
didn't quite understand what was going on. This is why we're doing this stream. So that y'all don't do the things that we put up with the things we put up with. It's weird. And when they're doing that, like you said, it means that they still want that person. They're still
Yes.
grieving.
Right.
They
Oh
are
my gosh.
still
And
grieving.
also it's it can be a little weird because if you constantly are talking about them and speaking negatively, I'm like, okay, well, what did you do in the relationship? Because it takes two to tango, man. Like I said, don't get me wrong. There
Exactly.
are those situations where people are genuinely crazy, but what about you? Because I know you weren't perfect in a relationship. So, like, what part did you play into your
Exactly.
previous relationship crumbling? So, yeah,
Exactly.
God,
And that kind of leads into the one I was going to say to kind of piggyback off of that. If all of their exes are crazy, oh, you dealing with a psycho. You dealing with a psycho. Either they are not self-aware or, well, actually, there's a couple layers to this. Either they are not aware, they're lacking self-awareness. They're just as crazy because you're crazy, attracting a bunch of crazy. And then that means you're crazy too. I'm sorry. If
yes,
all of their exes are crazy and they're with you, I'm sorry, honey. You need to go back to the table. Go back to the drawing board, rework yourself because you're crazy too.
yo, you a problem. You the problem. Seriously.
Exactly.
In all of those situations, there is one common denominator, and it's you, dummy. I don't understand.
Exactly.
And you know what? People do not realize when, like, they'll admit, like, yeah, I have a type, but they don't realize that they got a fucking type. Like, you feel me? Like, oh my gosh, if you just stay, if you want a different outcome, then do something different. But you're telling me all of your exes were crazy? Yeah, red fucking flag. Because why are all of them like wilding out on you? Why are they showing up at your job? Why are a couple of them in jail? Like I don't know. And this is just me coming up with shit off the top of my head. But yeah, seriously, like that doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense to me.
And that goes for both. Like, that goes for both. This isn't a gendered conversation, right? Like, if a
Yeah.
man has a bunch of crazy ex girlfriends, run. If a girl has a bunch of crazy ex boyfriends, run. And I'll give you another reason why you need to run. Because if they're as crazy as they say they are, what makes you think they're not going to come after you? A lot of those crazy
Exactly.
folks are very possessive. They will literally stalk, just like Leo said, they will stalk you on social media. They might stalk you in person. They might like try to off you. You never know. So if someone says they have a bunch of crazy exes, run. Even if they're a nice person, run. Unless y'all gonna relocate out the country so those crazies can't get to you, run.
Yeah, seriously, because that goes back to what I said too. Like you have no idea what they are into or what they've previously been into. Like you have absolutely no type of that's a great point. Because damn, you could be put in a what is that goddamn movie, Martin Lawrence movie? Love and Hate. You could be put in one of those situations. Like you don't know what you're dealing with, man. So just pay
Exactly.
attention.
Exactly. So, I mean, mine was kind of related, so I guess I'll toss another one out there to kind of switch it up. Um,
Sure.
if you go over their house for a few times, and every single time you go over there, the fire alarm is beeping, that's a red flag. Because you have to be some kind of crazy to sit there and tolerate that constant beep, beep,
Yo,
beep.
you Sandra, look, people probably think you saying this as a joke, right? But you
I'm
you are
so
not
serious.
lying because you were absolutely right. That happened to my wife and I like a couple of months ago, and that shit is loud. The door was closed. It was in the other. It was in my office, but we could hear it from the bedroom. So if you constantly got that plan on repeat, then yeah, I'm gonna think something is wrong with you. Also, do you not give a fuck about your life? That is the fucking smoke detector, my nigga. Like what you
Exactly.
wanted to detect shit, don't you?
Exactly. It's not
God.
detecting a damn thing. And it's just like the fact that you're able to just hear it constantly and it does like you're getting driven insane. Like I truly believe, and some people might think this is crazy, but there is science to back this up. Noises affect our bodies because our bodies are mostly water, right? And the sound waves affect water and certain frequencies, and I believe that fire alarm frequency drives people nuts. So whenever
Yeah.
I hear people constantly, like if it's a one off and then it's gone, then that's not a problem because they fixed the problem, right? They noticed the
Exactly.
problem, they fixed the problem. But if
Yeah.
every single time you go over there, you're just constantly inundated with beep, 2 minutes later, beep, no, no, ma'am, run. This person's psycho.
Yeah, because and honestly, all you have to do is just change it's not hard. Just change the batteries. Get a ladder, change the goddamn batteries to the store.
Exactly.
I understand I understand inflation is a thing, but batteries, my nigga, batteries. You got $12 to spend on some goddamn batteries, so you don't have to keep hearing the fucking incessant beeping. I,
Exactly. Like,
oh man,
exactly. Take the batteries out your damn remote. I don't care what you
yeah,
got to do. Do
yeah,
something. Because I
r-
cannot stand that sound. Like, even when I watch, like, shows like Kendra G and the
mm,
people be calling in and all I hear in the background is that constant beeping, I'm just like, oh no. Kendra, hang up. Hang up. You on the phone with Boo Boo the Fool. Why would you call into a show and you know you got that going on in the background? Like
that's
that,
what I'm
it goes
saying.
back to that lack of self-awareness. Because like if I'm gonna call into a show, I want to make sure everything is pretty good, right? I'm gonna make sure I look
Right.
okay. I'm gonna make sure the background is clear. I'm gonna clean up the background. I'm gonna do, but
No
you didn't even
animals.
think. Exactly.
There,
I'm going to
right.
make sure that everything is good. The fact that you're comfortable calling in and you know you got that beeping in the background, or you've had it so long you forgot it's there. Crazy.
Uh,
Absolutely insane.
yeah, nah. But you know what though? It's funny. It's funny that you say that because you can learn a lot by entering someone's home. You can.
Yes.
And Logix is in the chat right now. I had told this story to Logix um when I saw him in Chicago. So I'll make this quick. It's not going to be long-winded at all. Make a long story short, years ago before I was even with my wife, I was, on Tinder. That should tell you something right off the bat. I was on Tinder, right? And everything with this young lady, it was cool. Like it was fine. You would think I thought everything was normal. I got no red flags until I entered her house. Sandra, I shit you not. I entered her townhouse and literally everything was painted black. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see. Look at your face. That's the same face that I made, right? And then she had these figures that were on her shelf. It you, Figures that you could basically like attribute to the occult. And to make a long story short, she was like, "Oh yeah, let's go up to my room, blah blah blah. I can show you my room and whatever." So her room was very fucking narrow. It reminded me like of a college dorm or something like that. On the floor, big rug that has like a pentagram on it. Big rug. And in order for you to get to her bed, you had to cross the pentagram. You had to step on it in order to get on the bed.
Oh no.
So yeah, and you know
You
what? I
left.
really
Please
wish
tell
I.
me.
Oh
Oh
no 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 no
no.
no no! No, I did not. I did not. I did not. And I wish I was fucking making this up, but I went to the bathroom and I texted my boy Ant. I texted him. I didn't call him because I thought that she would hear me, and I was like, "Yo, make up some sort of excuse right now, like within like 5 minutes. Hit me up so I could dip." And my nigga came through. Oh, he came through,
That's a
and
real
I
one.
ran. Yeah, and I fucking ran. So if you see hey, if somebody got their walls painted all black, run, run.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's insane. You was about to, you was about to make a deal with the
Apparently, I was about to do something. That's not the weird. God, and
you was
it's
gonna go
crazy
all through
because
life. You were gonna go all through life, and then when you get to the pearly gates, gonna be like, you remember that time you they'll send your ass right to hell.
man. So yo, shout out to my boy Ant. I need to call him and thank you for that again one more time because yeah, he saved me, and I never talked to her ever again in my life. So yeah,
Good,
but
good, cause
anyway, I just thought that'd be funny to share because that was like one of my what the fuck stories. I got a couple of them, but if I had
man.
to throw another red flag out there, how do you feel about zodiac signs, Sandra?
I think they're cool, but I don't take them too seriously.
Okay, you heard what she said, right? She think it's cool, like it's something fun, but she doesn't take them too seriously. If you are dealing with somebody that takes their zodiac signs a little too fucking seriously and blames their bad behavior because I'm a Leo, so I like to drink and I like to hit people when I'm drunk. It's just a Leo thing. I'm sorry. No, no, that is a huge fucking red flag, and I cannot stand people like that. Well, it's because I'm a Pisces. And it's
Yes.
annoying because I've run into multiple women that do this, and it doesn't make any fucking sense. And also, when they take it a little too seriously, they can have preconceived notions on your character before they even get to know you.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
because like for real, like I'm a Gemini, right? And you know what people say about Geminis, oh, two-faced, blah blah blah. And then they get to know me. Oh yeah, you're pretty cool. Like I don't, you really don't fit the mold. Yeah, well, no shit, because it doesn't really mean anything.
That's so funny. Yeah, my mom's a Gemini too. But
Yeah, you told me that. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's so
God,
funny. And yeah, I agree. I mean, like, that stuff is more like new age spirituality. So instead of being super into religion, they just swapped it for another type of religion. A lot of that stuff is just cult mentality, to be honest. I find it one thing to be like, oh, this is cute. Maybe there's some little things that's coinky dinks. That's fine. Or even like the little symbols. I think those are cute. But if
right.
someone is literally like saying, blaming their bad behavior on their zodiac sign, you're just a terrible person. I'm sorry. It's not the
You.
sign, it's you. Because I'm sure there are plenty of people that have that same zodiac sign that don't be engaging themselves in that BS.
And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like I've run it. I don't know if it was because of college and college just attracts those type of women or what, but man, I seriously cannot stand it. Like, fuck. It makes me cringe.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And honestly, like, I feel like a lot of times people they like to categorize things so that they don't have to actually take the time to get to know. You know what I mean? If I can just say, like, oh, if I could just throw you in this box, then I don't have to think about it. So I think that's what a lot of people gravitate towards. That's why cults are so powerful, because what they do is they give you terminology for people that are not in the cult, and they give you terminology for people that are in the cult. So it makes it very easy to organize people. And see, that's just like a human nature thing. We always search for patterns, and it's a way for survival. Sorry, I'm getting real psychology today,
No, no,
going in my
no. I hear
psychological
you.
bag. But
Yeah.
people in general, we love to see patterns. That's why when you're a child, they focus a lot on letting you understand patterns, and it is a survival mechanism. But we're in such a soft life now that we have all of these primitive primal skills and abilities, and we don't know what to do with them now because life is so different from the Stone Ages or old times, that we're
Right.
using these primal behaviors in the dumbest way possible by like
And
organizing people with zodiacs.
yeah, no, I hear you, but if you practice, the zodiacs and astrology, I think I just so I can reiterate, I think it's fine. Just don't take it too seriously, okay?
I agree.
Don't just for the love of God, please don't use it as a Bible. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely
Yeah.
agree. Like I said, I think it's cute and it's fun, but like when they be
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, don't ever date a Capricorn," and like I'm just like, "Oh my god, don't call all Capricorns the devil." Like they're just born. Like,
It makes no sense. And then I hear because people that are into it, they tell me all the time, like, "Oh, your wife is a Sagittarius. Oh, that makes so sense. You guys you're perfect for each other." It's just a fucking coincidence, man. Okay, I'm I met some Sagittariuses that I actually fucking hate to this day. Like I wish nothing but the worst for them. And
oh
yeah,
wow, that's a
yeah.
little, well, damn.
Yeah, I've met some very interesting people. Yeah, and everything that's bad happened, I hope it's happening to you.
Oh
Anyway.
wow. That's probably because you came too close to that pentagram, that pendant, whatever it's called. Those
Oh,
demons
wait, I
rubbing
ain't even
off
go
on you.
You know, I ain't even gonna say anything negative about her because she could be watching. Nah, I'm good. She was a
She's
lovely
watching from a
person.
cloud. She's watching from a
Yeah.
cloud above her.
Oh man. All right. What's your next one?
Okay, so just to kind of piggyback off of that, I would say anyone who is unironically very invested in either the manosphere red pill or the woman side of that, where it's like decenter men or divestment, anyone who is a part of these dating extremist groups, run, run.
Yeah.
They're gonna
I
they're gonna tear your life up.
1000%. 1000%. That also leads into mine as well. One of mine, because I also said like if they have a relationship dating podcast, fucking run. But let me ask you a question.
It's
What
funny.
is this whole decentering men? Like what is that?
Yeah, so I went down a whole rabbit hole because of some drama and things that was happening on the YouTube streets with another YouTuber that I like to watch.
Yeah.
And I went down the rabbit hole to figure out what this means. And my understanding, okay, I've seen enough videos. I think I can come to, express my findings. I put my glasses. Okay, so I think this idea started with a logical concept, right? Do not lose yourself in a relationship. Make sure you are prioritizing yourself and not giving yourself up for another person. So don't lose
Okay.
yourself with another person. But see, like anything that's positive, stupid people latch onto it and then they
God.
bastardize it. They mess it up. They turn it into something that it didn't mean to be in the first place. So we start off
Similar
with
to the
don't
red
lose
pill.
yourself. Exactly. We start off
Mhm.
with don't lose yourself in a relationship. And now we're to the point where go be romantic with your girlfriends. Don't do that with a man. Don't take in media made by men. Try to find other ways to decenter men from your life, which is basically centering men again, but you're just centering the idea of avoiding men. And it's psychotic, honestly. A lot of these women, and I've had them pop off in my comment section, I've seen them in other people's comment section, they just sound unhinged and crazy and misandrist. It's insane. They took a concept that makes sense. Do not lose yourself in a relationship, which I agree with. Don't lose yourself. Don't completely change yourself and be somebody new for a person. Still be who you are. With that being said, if you need to grow and be a better person, by all means do that, but don't lose the essence of you for somebody else. But they took that idea and just turned it into don't do anything for a man. Don't even bother with men. Don't talk about men, but go into other people's comment section complaining about men while you're talking about how you're decentering. It's illogical. It's extremely
Wow.
illogical.
Okay. Yeah, I'm so confused because I'm just like, are they gay? Which is fine,
That's
it's
the question
fine,
I have. That's the
but
question I have.
if they aren't, then how does that work?
Thank you. Thank you. That's my that's the little bit of confusion I have left. Cause I lost it when I heard one broad say, "Oh, go do romantic things with your friends." Look, I've had several female friends in my life. I will never do a goddamn romance. If you light a candle while we eating dinner, I'm blowing that motherfucker out and leaving. We are not
That's
going on no romantic date. I am not a lesbian. Okay, let's be honest. I'm not a lesbian. I like men. Okay, so I am not doing romance. When she said that, I was like, this is lesbian propaganda. And I have no issue with lesbians. Go do your lesbian things. But let's not try to recruit insidiously.
huh.
Like, just call it what it is. We want more women to get away from men so that they can date us. Like, just say that. You don't gotta be like, well, you should decenter the man because men are like this and men are like that and men are so terrible. And I'm just like, and what's so crazy was I ran into one in my comments and she was like, oh, men do all these terrible things, da 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 da. And I was like, well, there are a lot of men that have horror stories about women. So should men decenter women? And she was
Thank
like,
you.
well, they talk about that, but a lot of times they're just talking about women who had boundaries and they didn't want to respect their boundaries. I'm like,
Wow.
I'm like, you
The
bird
delusion.
brain.
Wow.
You literally think that women can do no wrong unless they like men. Like,
So,
if they like
okay.
men, then they're doing wrong. But if they're, some women are terrible in relationships.
Yes. And I've met plenty of them. I'm just so confused because they were talking about men like they're a monolith,
Exactly.
but women can do no wrong. That doesn't make any sense at all. Why would you I look, if you want to decenter, toxic men, people, men that have like that. I don't even know what the fuck I'm even trying to say here. If you have men in your life that are making your life a little more negative than what it is, then you want to decenter yourself from them, then that's fine. But all men? I mean,
Yes,
if you
that
want to
is.
be gay, it's okay. You want to do
Just
this,
say
that's
that
fine.
then. Just
I
say
don't even
that
know if they
then.
do that. But yeah.
I don't know either because I'm not one of them.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
do romantic things with women. That's why. The only time you
Exactly.
could catch me doing something romantic with a woman is if we're on a double date and we're being romantic with our partners and we just so happen to be sitting across from each other.
Right.
That's the only kind of setting you will find me in a romantic setting with another woman is if my man is there and it's just a double date. And even in that scenario, we not being romantic with each other. We're stunning
This
how
is
romantic we are with our partner. That's it.
wow. This is so interesting because I didn't even hear about this whole decenter men from your life or whatever. I didn't even hear about that until I saw I don't know if it was your last video, but one of the videos that you posted recently, and I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Um
Exactly.
oh, that makes
Go
sense.
go on TikTok. Go on TikTok, look it up. Those videos
Oh
will
God,
have
you about
you, it's gonna give you so much content. I'm telling you. I'm
oh
telling you. I done opened a whole new door of content for you. Go ahead. They need men
okay.
to respond to this because it's ridiculous. And you know what's crazy? One of them was like, "Oh, well, the reason why I wanted to center men was because I listened to men. I watched the Manosphere, and I heard how they talk about." You listen to the most toxic of men. You listen to the opposite side of the same coin you're on, and now you're
That
mad.
thank you.
Y'all
Right.
the
That
same.
makes
Y'all
no
the
sense.
same.
What the fuck? That's okay, so that's basically like me meeting a terrible vegan, right? They're just a terrible person, and they just so happen to be vegan. Wouldn't it be stupid to think all vegans act like that one vegan?
It would be. Or just like, I'll give you another example because a lot of the ones that I was seeing was black women. So as much as we complain about everyone stereotyping us as the angry black woman, we're going to
Yeah.
go out into the world and stereotype everybody else. Make it make sense.
That's okay. Yeah.
Stop
Yeah.
being a hurt person hurting other people. If you don't like people doing that to you, saying that you're aggressive, you're this, even though some of them do be aggressive. Some of them do fit that stereotype, but then they complain about, oh, they're stereotyped. No, you stereotyped yourself by behaving that way. But not all black women behave that way. We understand that, but you can't understand that there are trash men and good men. They both exist, and there might be a very good reason why the good men don't want you. They don't want to. They
a
don't want to address
very
that.
a
Everyone thinks
very
the
good
sun
fucking
shines
reason.
out their butthole, and it doesn't. It doesn't shine out of it.
Golly. Yo, matter of fact, I'm gonna record that section right there because something is telling me when I do this deep dive and I look at this shit on TikTok, I'm gonna have like 5 videos and
Yep.
God, like
Yep. Absolutely. And
oh,
GC, he says, real talk with Yanni. Apparently, she's on that same train of
real talk with
BS.
Yan.
Yeah,
Okay,
she's
I'm
very
writing it down.
beautiful. She's a very beautiful woman. Girl, what you talking about decenter? And you know what's crazy is like,
That shit down.
a lot of the decenter men, women look a mess. They look a mess. And I'm just like, are you? And shout out to Blunt Girlie. Every time I, pick something up from somebody else, I want to give them their flowers. Shout out to the good sis. She said, "Are you decentering men, or have they just decentered you?" Ooh, bar. That
Yeah,
was a
that's a
bar.
that's a good point.
I
That's a bar.
heard her
That's a
say that.
good
I was
point.
like, that is facts. That is absolute facts. Because
That's
it's
that
just
is a
like
very good point.
you look crazy. Of course, nobody's approaching you. Like
Right.
I've never, and I'm not trying to brag or anything. Like I've never had an issue with getting male attention. Like it's never been a problem for me. But I also don't leave my house looking crazy. I just don't. I just don't. Like, even if I don't feel that good, I don't leave my house in a bonnet. I don't
Right.
leave my house looking crazy. And it's like, I'm not aggressive. I'm not angry every time people talk to me. Like, I'm approachable. You have to be approachable. But you get somebody, and I reacted to this other woman. She was like, they said I'm intimidating. What the does that mean? I'm like, girl,
You doing it.
girl.
You're doing it
And it's
right
like,
now. I don't
it's
know.
not even just like that was a candid moment. You edited that. Your video was edited. So you heard yourself say that and then included it in the video. You're not aware. A lot of these people, and I'm not going to say women, a lot of these people are not right in the head. It's mental health at this point because you have to lack all self-awareness. Cause that, like, you saying that was already unapproachable and intimidating. I was just like, shoot, should I even react to
Right.
this video? She a little scary. It's like, do you not see
Jesus.
yourself?
But you know what? Probably not, because a lot of people. Well, I'm not mean to say some people that are like that. They also think they're just like a catch, so they can't fathom somebody like not wanting them or saying they're too intimidating or whatever. And also, she should. When someone says that to you, you should probably take a look. A look at yourself in the mirror. Be like, why would somebody say that? Now
Exactly.
if a man or opposite sex, whatever, if they're saying that because you're successful or whatever, that's not necessarily what I'm talking about, because I personally think that's stupid. I would never say a woman is intimidating because she has a lot of success in her life. But
Yeah,
maybe you're just aggressive. I don't know.
exactly.
I don't
Exactly.
know.
But you know what? You know what they're probably doing? Oh, I'm just a Libra. Just a Libra.
Ah, God damn it. You brought it back. God damn it. This is just what I do. I'm a Libra. I can't help it. Yes, the fuck you can. God
If you can't
damn it.
help it, and I'm gonna double down on this. If you cannot help that type of behavior, I'm gonna need you to go get into a psychiatric ward away from the rest of us. Because that
Yeah,
idea
please
that you
do
can't
us
help your behavior is dangerous. What you mean you can't
do us
help
all a
it?
favor. Jesus Christ. Uh,
Psycho.
oh man. I actually have I have an interesting one. I feel like this is going to depend on what a man is looking for in a woman. But for me personally, a red flag for when I was dating is if they didn't have a sense of direction when it came to their own life. Um, yeah. So there was this one person that I was dating. She did not, and this we're like, don't get me wrong, we're relatively young, like mid-20s or whatever. If you don't know what you want to do exactly, I mean, I get it to an extent, but you should have some sort of idea. Like, I plan to do X, Y, and Z. She didn't know jack shit. I would ask her multiple questions. Oh, well, what are your aspirations for the future? Are you going to get a better job than what you have now? Blah, blah, blah. Nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. And something very crazy came out of this woman's mouth to the point where I was like, all right, this is my time to exit. She said she wanted to have a baby because she felt like a baby would force her to put her life back on track. I
Oh,
was like, yo, that's crazy. Because you're gonna bring a life here when you ain't shit. Now you just gonna have you ain't gonna be shit, and you have an ain't shit ass baby. I don't why would you want to put that kid in that situation? You don't know what to do. A baby isn't gonna help with that at all. If you don't know
that's true.
what you want to do now, you're not gonna know what you want to do when that baby is here. What the fuck? And you should not be hustling just because you have a child. You should already be hustling for yourself and planning for the future.
Exactly. That's insane. That this stuff like that makes me want to just start sterilizing folks because those babies don't deserve to grow up in that type of home.
They
Like,
don't. They don't. They do not. And it was one, Sandra, I shit you not. And my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
no, you good.
she also did not even respect her health in a sense. Not saying like she wasn't overweight or anything like that, but I would rarely see this woman drink water. And it was just a bunch of soda and sweet tea, which could lead to other problems. So yeah, I didn't even take it that far, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, because I was about to say, certain body parts probably smell like fish. I'm not even gonna hold you. That's
That
nasty.
pH.
And you know what? That could be a red flag on its own. If you don't drink
That's what I'm
water,
saying.
if you don't drink
Yes.
water, if you say that water is nasty, if you have an Asmongold response to water, red flag, run, run.
Fucking flag. Yeah.
That's
But
nasty.
yeah, I said it kind of depends on what you want in a partner at in the beginning, because I do understand there are some men out here that would just love their woman to just want to have children. I get that. She was different because she only wanted to have a kid because she wanted to fix her own life. But yeah, I was always the type of person, like, I mean, I saw my parents work together, like they both had jobs. Like always wanted a woman that had, like, I don't know, fucking dreams, aspirations, goals, something. But
Right. Yeah, that's weird. That's absolutely weird. You know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like she was an NPC. Because if you try
yeah,
to ask an NPC outside of what they've been programmed to say, and you know, put my tin hat on, I think that society has been littered with a lot of NPC people. Okay, they're here to kind of give a buffer, and there's only a few real people on the planet. And it's the ones that have to tolerate all the NPCs that have flooded the earth.
you
That's what I
know,
think.
I don't know what happened along the way, but it's like a lot of our society is starting to lose critical thinking skills. And I'm
Yep.
just like, God damn, I don't understand the fact that she was even comfortable enough to say some of the shit that she said to me. Excuse me. Oof. Yeah, I was shocked. I'm like, why would you openly admit that? But
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
No self
Mm,
awareness. But I mean, I can't expect an NPC to be self aware. Like
fuck
I'm
no.
asking you to do something outside of your programming. You can't do that. So
Jesus.
yeah, absolutely. Um I would say another red flag for me is that if you go, and this kind of relates to what you're saying, if you go to talk to this person about something deep and they just can't, they can't they can't critically analyze, they can't go deeper than surface level, if they are vapid, that is a huge red flag, because what that tells me is that you're not thinking about your life choices, you're not thinking about your trauma, whatever trauma you've had in the past, you're not thinking about anything. And I'm not necessarily
What's going
relating
on
this.
around you?
Exactly. Like, and I'm not just going to relate this to politics because I don't think everyone has to care about politics. Some people just check out. But just in
Right.
a general sense, like, you can't have a deep conversation and go deeper than what the surface or what has been said to you on like social media. That is a huge red flag because, like, what are you going to talk about? I can only talk
Right.
about, you know, celebrity gossip for this much time before I want to talk about the psychology behind it. Like, if you're
Right.
not able to go there, and it doesn't mean that you have to be the smartest person in the world, even just someone that asks questions, that's not a vapid person. You don't have to know, but be like interested in learning more. I can't
Engage
do
in the
no vapid.
conversation. Right.
Exactly. Exactly.
Jesus.
Nobody wants to date a plastic bag. You know,
Oh
like
god. No, 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 no. No, I think that is very important, because if I talk to you and you aren't responsive, you don't even necessarily have to know what I'm talking about per se, kind of like how you said, like, just as long as you try to engage in the conversation. Because then, I mean, I've done this plenty of times before where someone is talking and I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. This is how you get out of this situation for all of you that are like this. All you have to say was, huh, that's interesting. I don't know about that. Can you tell me more?
beautiful. Now you learning stuff.
Yes, fixes the goddamn problem. It's that simple. But it's
Exactly.
like, I don't know if people are afraid to do that because they think they're going to feel stupid if they don't know something. How are you going to know everything in the world? It's okay. Ask questions. Don't be
And you know
afraid.
what? That kind of piggybacks into another red flag. If someone has to have that need to always be right, to always
Oh,
know
oh
everything,
man.
if they have to have that, like, I know everything, and they're unwilling to admit when they're wrong or that they just don't know and they'll pretend like they know, that grinds my gears so bad because it's just like you're talking to a wall because they could be
Yeah.
dead wrong because they have no idea about what the hell they talking about and they just keep going on and on and on and you're sitting there like, first of all, I know this because I've researched it, I've lived it, I have all this experience. What you're saying is not true. And even if you tell them to go look it up, they will still just never concede. And it's just like, why? It's okay to be wrong. Like, I'm wrong with Justin all
Right.
the time. He proves me wrong all the time. And it's like, well, not all the time. I'm not like, I know some things, but, he does teach me things. And it's like, what is this aversion to admitting you don't know? I don't know. Miss Rachel teaches the children in her videos to say, I don't know. Why do we not? Why do we not feel
Yep.
comfortable just admitting we don't know?
I I don't know shit. That it's I genuinely think it's because people do not want to seem stupid. Like that's probably the best conclusion that I can come from that. It's just like people just genuinely don't want to seem dumb, especially if they are perceived as to be as like smart. Then they don't want to have maybe a misstep where they thought something was correct. And instead of just saying, "Oh, I didn't know that. My bad. You're absolutely right." They try to double down on it so that they can
Yep,
still try to keep up that appearance maybe. I have no idea, but in doing so, you look fucking stupid. You look dumb.
exactly. You defeat the
You look
purpose.
yeah. And I mean, shit, that's you talked about politics, or that's one of the reasons why I don't debate politics on my channel is just because like even if you are right about something, a lot of people can't admit like, oh, okay, I was wrong about that. So it's just like it's no point. It's no point. I could care less.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I agree. I absolutely agree. Stuff like that is so annoying. And Lofton, you're right. It has to do with ego. It's an ego
Yeah.
thing. You feel like if you're wrong in this instance, then people are gonna look at you crazy, but pretending to be right makes you look even crazier.
Correct.
That is a good way
Correct.
to make me and people like me run the other way. They ain't dealing with you.
Yeah.
You're done. You're out of here.
And shoot, not even just relationship, friendships too. People do
Yep.
that. Family members do that. So if you hear it,
Yep.
just let these people know it's okay to be wrong. It's all right. You didn't know shit. It's completely fine. All right. I didn't
Yes.
realize until I met Logix. I didn't realize that there were so many people that genuinely thought the Earth was flat. I didn't know
Well,
until
see, they're
now.
wrong. They're wrong. The Earth is a simulation. It's not flat.
Oh, true. My bad. My bad. True. You're right. You're right.
um,
We are in a simulation. That is true.
what's your next one?
You know, um, I would say the next one, it depends on which side of the spectrum you are with this one in particular, but I would say if someone cares too much about gender roles, or it could be, or also your other gripe could be depending on how you are, is if they don't care enough about it. But for me, I'm gonna say if somebody cares too much about gender roles. So obviously, yes, I said it before, I'm married, but if I had to date today in this economy and I ran into a woman that said, "Hey, I really want to be a stay-at-home wife." I would say, "Cool, you can do that with somebody else." I can't. I genuinely can't afford it as much money, and it's not like I don't even make a decent amount of money. I do. I just can't afford it in this economy. And like I said, I think I said this before. I grew up where my father and my mother, like they both worked their asses off
Same.
to just make sure, we were good. Like me and my brothers were good. We had everything that we needed. I don't know how, because it's not like my mom and my dad had a lot of money, but they were always able to provide us with literally everything that we needed and everything that we wanted, which is a true blessing. And I just love seeing that, like that partnership. And don't get me wrong, I do not mind working. I like working. I mean, I consider this work to I consider this to be work to a certain extent. But I don't want to work to the point where I'm miserable because everything is just, I mean, I'm just going to want to come home and go to sleep and not interact with you, not interact with the kids. I mean, according to Myron Gaines, apparently interacting with your children, it's gay. So guess,
Wait,
you know,
what?
whatever.
He
Yeah,
he said
yeah. Video coming, video coming. Yep. Get tomorrow, actually. Yep. You
how?
play with your child, you're gay. Yep.
What? Hold up. Even if you think about like the old tropes of like father son relationships, you go outside and you play catch.
Yeah. Well, okay. You know what? I'll give you a preview. He only wants to play with his kid or be involved when the kid can take a punch. And I, yeah, I wish I was making this up. Hmm.
That's odd. That's a red flag in of itself. If they listen to anything Myron Gaines says unironically, that's a red fucking flag. Run. Do
Right.
not pass
Right.
go. Do not collect $200. Charge that $200 to the game and run. Because
Right.
first of all, doing gay stuff with your wife, playing with your kids is gay. But apparently,
Everything.
cuddling in bed with other men is not gay. Letting
No,
another
what?
man wrap their arm around you and lick your ear is not
That's
gay.
just boys being boys. Man,
Yeah,
come on.
homosexual boy. I wish these people would just come out and say they gay. Like, there's
It'd be
nothing
much
wrong with you
easier.
being gay. Like, just be gay. Like, there's a whole month for you. Like, we're literally in the last day of your month. Come out that closet, please.
It would be way easier, way easier. But my bad. That was my fault. I got off topic.
No, that's
But
another red flag. Thank you.
yeah. But I wanted to make that point when it came to like gender roles, because for me personally, I've also run into women that say they want to just stay at home and raise the kids, which is fine. I have no issue with any woman wanting to do that. That's totally fine. But the woman that I dealt with that would say it, they wanted to just do that strictly so that they didn't have to work. So that came off to me as an, oh, you're lazy. So if you're lazy, how the fuck am I going to know that you are going to go above and beyond for my kids?
Yeah,
Yeah.
first of all, kids are work. Kids are work. I've heard studies where they said raising children, if you're a stay-at-home parent and you're managing the house and you're managing the kids, that's 3 jobs all at once. And you don't get no
Yeah.
damn break. You
Yeah,
don't get a
but
break.
you know what? People do, it's like people don't believe it. But I have seen several situations where I'm like, I don't know if I would be able to do that. But like you said, it is 3 fucking separate jobs with no goddamn break. My
Exactly.
God.
Like I have two. I have two. And I was two under two for a little bit. When I tell you, it is a lot. Okay, it is
I,
a lot trying to manage 2 kids. Like if you got 2 kids and they both crying in unison, oh my God, that is just a
make
whole another level of just crazy that you have to deal with. You got to figure out one child. And then once you get the other child figured out, then you're going to go figure out the other one. And then you better hope the other child don't start having an issue while you figuring out and then you just going back and forth trying to figure some stuff out. Let's be so for real here. Taking care of kids is not easy. And any woman that would say, oh, I want to do this, so I don't have to work. Look, she going to have your kids raggedy as hell. Do not deal
and
with
that
her.
thank
Your
you.
kids going to be
And
raggedy. Your house
that
going to be
is my
raggedy.
point. Yes,
Everything
that
going to be
is my
raggedy.
point. Like that's so it's so fucking annoying because I do hate that people treat that as, oh, I'm not working. You're absolutely right. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Being a mother, a stay-at-home mother is probably one of the hardest jobs out here. But yeah, that's my one. That's that one just got to me. If I used to stop talking to them right then and there. I'd be like, I don't think this is gonna work out. And they'd be like, what's wrong? That's what's wrong.
Yeah.
What?
And, I feel like if more people were just honest about stuff like that up front and, you're able to just kind of say, look, this isn't going to work and then just stop wasting each other's time, then a lot of people won't be out here decentering men or manosphering or boys being boys. Like,
Yep.
if you just stop trying to make a circle fit into a square, you would have less problems. But to kind of bring it back, my next red flag, it's a very simple one. And this applies to both men and lesbians. Okay, this is a very woman specific.
That's
Avoid this
that's very
woman.
specific. Okay.
If her bangs go up to here, run. She crazy as hell because it don't look cute. It don't look cute. Nobody in the lifetime of the world ever in life has ever looked cute with bangs this high up on a forehead. Run. That bitch is crazy. She's crazy. And especially if one side is longer than the other and she left it like that, she's insane. So lesbians, men, if you see a woman with little bangs like this, understand she will stab you in your sleep. Run. She's
I believe it.
crazy. Insane in the
Whole
membrane.
and if it's short like this. Oh man. Nah, you right. I thankfully I will say I have not seen anybody with little bangs before, but now I feel like I gotta look it up.
Trust me, when you see it, look it up. Look it up. When you see
Oh.
it, you will be like, yes, you're insane.
Oh. Oh, got you. You not wrong. You
I
not
ain't
wrong.
lying. I'm keeping it a buck. If your bangs look like this, no, no, ma'am. And see, there's a difference, right? So some people might try to cut their bangs and they'll accidentally cut it too short. But you know what
Right.
they'll do? They'll flip it back and put a pin. They won't wear that
Right.
shit down. They will try to hide it. They will braid it down, or they'll put a wig on, they'll wear hats. But the ones that just sit there and they just, no, no,
Yo, this is
run.
funny because I thought I was the only one to have a real petty one here.
Oh no, I'm very petty. You should already know. Wise. This
I
is the
got
same
one
person
too.
that told you. This is the same person that told you if a man likes surgeries, then he need to go get with a trans. I told you that a long time ago. This was one of our first conversations. I am petty. I'm very petty.
Yeah. Oh man. I have one too.
Ooh.
So if a woman smile and all you see is gum, run. She's a liar, a manipulator, and a schemer. If your woman smile and she look like Charlie Kirk, red flag. Red flag. You know what Charlie Kirk looked like.
Wait, you talking about people with the little baby teeth?
Yeah, yes, the goddamn dolphin teeth. Yeah, yeah, I call them little chiclets. Yeah, if you out here looking like Charlie Kirk, they owe somebody some money. They lied about something egregious multiple times. Don't trust them. I'm telling you, or they think or they're very uppity and they think they are better than everybody. I don't know why, but everybody that I met that got nothing but gum showing when they smile, they are not pleasant people. Not saying that, this goes for everybody. And of course, I'm being a little silly here, but still, everyone that I met, God.
That's funny. See, you're more petty than me because at least what I said can be changed. You can grow your bangs out. You can hide them. You got to go through orthodontics to get them little chiclets fixed. That's a whole process. That's a year process.
To hurt somebody's feelings, man. Oh man, that was a real silly one, but it was a random observation that I made one day. I was like, huh. Every woman that I meet that got a lot of gum showing, I haven't had good experiences. Go
Bruh.
figure.
Okay, so,
Go
and
figure.
this is going to be my last one for tonight. I have more, but, I want us to keep on the time
Yeah, I have a
frame.
good one too.
My next one is if you're having a conversation with them and every 5 seconds they're quoting somebody and they think it is just so deep every single time, run. That person is insane. They don't have a thought of their own.
That is beyond annoying. Like, I understand one or two quotes here that apply to the context of the situation, conversation, whatever. Like, I totally get, but to do that constantly, no, you look fucking stupid. Like it's weird. It's weird. And
Yes.
I don't even have that great of a memory to remember all those goddamn quotes.
Exactly. And and to give you guys an example, just in case you don't understand where I'm coming from with this. If you watch a lot of that manosphere content, they will all say the same quotes over and over and over again. A lock, women are key, women are locks, and men are keys. They would say these same kind of quotes over and over again in the same conversation. And it's like every other sentence is some curated quote that they heard from somebody else. Honey, they ain't had original thought a day in their life. Vapid.
No. Fuck no. And that's
Vapid
that
and
is
thinking they're deep.
yes. Yes, then that is a great example. That's honestly one of the reasons as to why I talk about them in the first place because it's all recycled. They don't have a thought of their own, like you said. It's fucking ridiculous. It's same talking points, but people still somehow are making content off of this. I don't know how because we've heard it all at this point. And that goddamn lock and key reference,
Oh my
Jesus Christ, I've
God.
heard that way too many times.
More times than you
Ugh,
needed to. And they
man,
really think they're cooking with that.
they
They really
do.
think they're cooking with that. Like, I'm
They
sorry,
they
but your key
do.
is rusty. You
Your
got a
key is
rusty ass
nasty.
key.
That's what I'm saying. Your key got STDs on it, bro. Like I don't, I really don't understand. And oh man, that is so fucking stupid
And they
because
think they're
you
so
are,
deep.
yeah. And then they want to say things about like in regards to that conversation we just had, they want to say things about how women they have more STDs than men. And that right, that pisses me off because I'm like, bro, it's because y'all niggas don't go to the doctor, bro.
Exactly.
They
You
don't go to
think
the
you think it's
doctor.
because of that. You just don't know you got one. That's
Yes.
why. You're
Your key
unaware.
dirty. Your key dirty. Your key dirty. That lock dirty. Everybody dirty. Fuck.
Man, that's why I'm glad
Okay.
I'm out the game. I'm glad I'm out the
Yeah.
game.
Oh, I
I would
happily.
kiss Justin's feet every day. I don't care. I will censor him. I ain't going back out in the wild. I don't care. Fuck all that. I
No.
will kiss his feet. I will make him breakfast in bed. I will do all the things. I am not going back out into the wild. No, ma'am. Not with y'all crazy
Happily
son
married.
of a bitches.
No. Nah. 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 And hell, yeah. And for women, I feel bad for y'all, especially like black women dating black men. You don't know who's a YN out here or old ass YN. You could date a Jim Jones and not know. Oh God, just imagine. Yeah, people out here are crazy. They
YN.
nasty. God.
YN energy.
Yeah, man. You have no idea. You really don't. But no, I'm glad to happily married, and I want to stay that way because it is rough. I can't imagine dating in this day and age. I really feel sorry for some people.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what's your last one? We can close it out on one of yours.
My last one is a little more simple. I would say if they do not know how to apologize,
Yes.
this is something that is key. And apologizing, like even if you're not prompted to, like it takes a certain amount of humility, right? Because you have to say, oh, damn, I really messed up here, I did this wrong, said this when I wasn't supposed to. Like it takes a certain amount of humility. The fact that you fucked up, and we both know that you fucked up, and you are not willing to say I'm sorry, I'm just like, that's fucking crazy to me. Because if I am willing to say I was wrong and I fucked up and I have this humility, why don't you extend that same grace to me? That doesn't make any
Yep.
sense. It's a simple I'm sorry. You can't be perfect 24/7. People people make mistakes all the time, especially in relationships. Bro, just say I'm sorry. It's so simple. And that goes back to what Lofton was saying. It's probably ego. But for what? You don't want to feel inferior because you're apologizing? Y- It's okay. It is okay. At the end of the day, this is
Exactly.
supposed to be your partner. This is supposed to be your partner in crime. Like this is somebody you want to be with, or I would hope that you want to be with for long term, whatever. I think it is okay for you to break down the walls and just say, I'm sorry. It's that simple.
Exactly. I 1000% agree. And you know, what's crazy is that this isn't even just like a relationship issue. A lot of older people, a lot of
Oh,
parents, they suck at it. And not only that, you
terrible.
have people that when they apologize, they'll say stuff like, I'm sorry that you feel that way. What?
I'm
The,
sorry you feel that way is crazy. I hate
I've
that.
had people
Hate it.
say that to me, and I just look at it
Oh,
like that's not a freaking apology.
it's not.
Apology is owning your problems. And then like what's usually coupled with that is not only they'll say that, but then they'll also flip it around on you. Well, if you weren't doing this and if you weren't doing that, it's just no. No, limit your, if you're trying to date this person, stop. If this is somebody that's a family member, just limit your time around them because they're going to drive you insane with that. They will drive you
Yeah.
insane with that. And as a mother, I regularly not that my child is getting like, the rough end of things, but I make it a point to regularly apologize to my children when I know that I do something wrong. I always do
Right.
it. And I want to make sure that I model that for them so that they don't grow up crazy thinking that they could tell somebody, I'm sorry you feel that way when it was your fault. You messed up. I want my kids to make sure that they know you can make mistakes. Just apologize and stop the behavior. Or, you know what, to
Absolutely.
kind of piggyback off of that one, I'm sorry, you made me think of another one. People who
Good.
apologize all the time, but they never fix the behavior. They think the
That's even
apology is
worse.
all that matters.
That's even worse because you are you're apologizing. You recognize that you did something wrong, but you don't give a fuck enough to change the goddamn behavior. You don't
It's a
care enough to
manipulation.
change. Yes. That's really wild to me. And I know some people like that. You gave me PTSD for a second. Like you
Sorry, my
can't
bad.
don't matter of fact, I would rather in that case, I would rather you not say sorry at all. If you know you just gonna fucking do it again. Just don't say it.
Exactly.
Don't say it.
Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm,
So, that whole thing is a good way to see if somebody is really like sincere, like Dr. Steele says.
right.
If they are sincere, then their apology will hold weight and they will actually correct the behavior. Oh, sorry. That just makes me think of another one. Sorry, I'm sorry. We can
Good.
keep
You
going.
good. You
But
good.
people who will tell you, and this kind of goes back to the zodiac thing, but it's slightly different. Instead of saying, "Oh, I did this because of my zodiac," oh, sorry, I have
Trauma.
Asperger's, or
Oh,
I have depression, or I have this mental health, I have
yeah.
that mental health. I don't want to hear about your mental health. I'm sorry. It's okay. Like, I understand that people have things, but you're aware of it. You're aware of
Right.
it. So if you're
And
aware, you can mitigate and stop weaponizing the fact that you got mental health crises to scapegoat accountability for when you mess up.
right. And I will say I find it very interesting these days because it seems like having some sort of like, mental illness or whatever, it's like that's the popular thing to do, the popular thing to say. Like I really don't understand that
Well, it's
because
not
I'm
new.
like, damn,
It's not new.
yeah, right. I'm like, damn, all y'all can't have Asperger's. Like that's something
It's
isn't
just another
something isn't right.
form of, I don't know if you remember this. We're around the same age. I don't know if you remember this, but like in middle school, like around the time we were in middle school and high school, it was very popular to be depressed and emo, be
Emotes
emotional.
for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm just going through so much. Oh,
Yeah.
it's another form of that. You know what I
God.
mean? It's just another performative action. It's performance. It's sheer performance, and I don't like that. I really don't like that because I do genuinely take mental health seriously, right?
Right.
Like I take it seriously, but even with me, like I recently found out that I most likely have OCPD. Does that mean I get to scapegoat all my problems to, oh, I have OCPD, I can't help? No. It's just a tool. The label is literally a tool so that you can mitigate it. So you
Exactly.
understand your behavior better. You understand where it's coming from so that you can then fix it. But when you have people that will perpetually throw it in your face every time they mess up, oh, I'm sorry, it's my neurodivergency. Like, no, No. Go divergent yourself over there somewhere and get up out my face with that. I ain't dealing with that, and neither should you.
Yeah, I mean, hell, just to be totally transparent here, I mean, like I take mental health seriously too. Like I take meds for certain things. I mean, mainly like the like anxiety for real, but I never talk about or like try to weaponize. Oh, it's because of my X, Y, and Z because I'm doing this to you. Like, nah, that is fucking weird. And like you say, you're using it as a scapegoat. But it's just still so fascinating to me because it's not fun. Like to have these certain things wrong with you. It's not fun. Like
It's
I
not.
don't necessarily wear it as a fucking badge of honor, but yeah, like you said, it's important to get these things diagnosed and figure out what the fuck is wrong with you. That's why you should go to the doctor. Because when you find out, you can fix it, and a lot of things start to make sense because of it. Not saying that that's okay for you to make excuses, but it's basically for you to make adjustments, like you said.
Yeah, it's a tool. It's an
Yeah.
absolute tool. So, I just that's the last red flag. I'm not gonna keep going down a rabbit hole because if I do, we'd just be here for hours. 'Cause there's so
Yeah.
many.
Oh yeah, I wrote down a shit ton. It's all good. One before we get out of here, one thing that I will say when it comes to anybody that's dating, I would just encourage everybody to properly vet their partner. And when I mean that, have the hard conversations about money, family, your family, their family. Have all those tough conversations, properly vet them, put them in particular situations with your friends, your family, your loved ones. Do all of the things that you need to do in order to determine if this is a viable option for you to have this partner for however the long fuck you want, whether it's marriage or you just want to have a long term girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. Do your due diligence and properly vet them. It will make all the difference in the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And to kind of go with that, do not delude yourself into thinking this person will change unless they've already shown that they can change, like that first instance where it's like, hey, you did this, it was very hurtful. Can you please, be more aware and not do that? If they then start taking actionable steps to correct it, then by all means, this is a green flag. But if you bring this to their attention and they continue to do it, don't keep thinking this person's gonna do better in the future. This person's gonna change. I can change them. No, you can't. People have
Yeah.
to want to change for themselves. They're not going to change for you. People are very self-centered. As much as people want to say, "Oh, decenter men," because you center. Most people are centered around themselves. Let's just keep it a buck. And if they are unwilling to work on the behaviors that are negatively affecting you, leave. Cut your losses. You cannot change them. They have to want to change themselves.
Yes. Could not say that any better myself. Yeah, just please leave. And I don't yeah, I've heard many people say, "Oh, I would love to change you. I want to fix this and do that." No, don't do it, man. Don't waste your time. It's okay because if people want to change, they will. It's okay. You
And
don't
not
have
only
to. You,
that,
in matter of fact, you should not. If you feel like you have to change them, that's a red flag within itself.
why do you want to be with somebody you got to change?
Yes, that's stupid. What the
It just
fuck you
reminds
want
me
to
of those
mold
red
them for?
pills. It reminds me of those red pill dudes that be like, "Oh, well, when you get with her, she needs to delete all her social media and she needs to start doing this." Like, stop trying to turn a hoe into a housewife. Let her go be a
Yes.
hoe.
Yes, and stop fucking with the bitches in Miami and just go somewhere. There's a lot. We have a lot of states in this country, 50 states in this country. Go somewhere else. You don't
Yes.
have to date in Miami. God.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. But on that note, go ahead and plug yourself one more again for the people.
Go ahead, guys, and do me a favor and subscribe to Watts TV. I post frequently. I need to be put more so on a schedule, but I do post frequently every week, live stream every Saturday. Try to, so make sure that you subscribe so you do not miss out on the fun. Appreciate you, Sandra.
This was really good, and thank you so much for doing the collab.
Of course,
We'll continue to collab in the future. These are always great conversations, and we always
for
have
sure.
fun, but we also get a little deep. It's like an episode of Futurama. Okay, we
Yeah,
can have the laughter, but then we can have the deep, kind of mixed in there. It's perfect.
for
But yeah,
sure.
I have Watts's his link in the description, so I made it easy for you. to go and click
Appreciate it.
and then subscribe. But yeah, y'all, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. I hope y'all have a wonderful day and avoid bitches with bangs like this. Okay? That's the last thing I'll say. Avoid bitches with bangs like this. And you should be straight. See y'all.
All right. Peace.